For me personally, bridging the gap really means making regulation, which is my bread and butter job, making that part of a business process, really understanding what regulation is and what it means to a company so that they can then integrate a lot of those aspects into their design and development work, because ultimately that's going to form part of their technical documentation. So yeah, having that sort of base is really important, which is why it's important for us to be in these sorts of environments speaking to as many SMEs as we can. If there was one key message really to sort of drive that and to actually picture it, would be to think about the milestones that you need to hit as you go through your regulatory strategy. Look at the requirements that are in the regulation, see them as points on a Gantt chart. Every manufacturer, every designer, every SME, every entrepreneur is going to be at different points in their development process, but really to sort of have those points as sliding scales on a Gantt chart, so that you know that you've got to hit the milestones, and you know that you've got to integrate them into the way that you do your business. It's just when you get to those points. ABHI is made up of 340 members now, so it's quite a big trade body. We have about 70% of that membership being SMEs, and it's always been very difficult to actually get that message across to SMEs. The questions that those people have is very different from those that a large corporation has, and I think that as an association we have enough expertise in our leadership team to be able to cope with everything. So for example, a large corporation might be more interested in procurement processes and what that means to them, whereas an SME is going to be much more focused on, well, how do I get my product onto the market in the first place? And we certainly have that expertise. So I think that it's really good for those sorts of organisations to be members of ABHI, to have that sort of baseline. Of course, the other thing which SMEs and in fact all companies of ABHI can benefit from is the fact that through our work we do a lot of anticipatory work. So we understand what the government is thinking when it comes to changes to regulation, what it means to the government as far as procurement processes go, so we can interact and get a better anticipation of the trends in the market, which is obviously which is great information for the SME and the large corporation in ensuring that their products can get to market in the first place, but then can be maintained on the market. AHSM interactions is really important for us as part of that whole process. Understanding and where you can have that interaction with those entrepreneurs is key to us, because to be honest with you, not all SMEs realise that ABHI exists. So to actually get out there and to get a message across that there are people who can help the entrepreneur in trying to tackle and navigate their way through all of these different difficult areas, I think is a really good opportunity, hopefully for the entrepreneur, but also for ABHI.